Hi there, it's Liz Yule from Old Stables Crafts again. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm still on my Let's Have a Look at What's in the Annual Catalogue campaign. So this is today's starter card, and it's using the Blooms and Bliss Designer Series paper and the Blooms and Wishes stamps. I have a real problem saying those and getting them right, but it's Blooms and Bliss paper and Blooms and Wishes stamps. The stamps are the photopolymer stamps, so which is great because this is a two-step stamp set, so being able to see through it is just perfect. So this was the card I made, and I'm really going to sort of change it up quite a lot colour-wise. But what I want to start by showing you is, this is the Designer Series paper. It was part of the same sheet. There you are, it was part of the same sheet. So, the Designer Series paper obviously is two-sided, so I thought I would use the other side of the same piece of paper as the starting point for the slightly changed version. The colours on this paper are Island Indigo, Mint Macaron and Sahara Sand. So those are the colours that I used on the original, and I'm going to use them on the next version as well, but by changing it up so that I'm going to use the Island Indigo as the card base, then the B-side, for want of a better phrase, of the Designer Series paper. And I'm then going to, and no, I haven't really gone mad, honest I haven't, this is glimmer paper. So I'm going to change the matte for the stamped bit to glimmer paper. I originally was going to put glimmer paper on the first version, but because the background is Whisper White, it kind of sunk into the background. Although the new release of Celebration items will help with that. Hint. You'll be seeing that very soon. They launch on the 21st of February, the second batch of Celebration items, and it includes some glimmer paper in different colours, which would have worked perfectly with this project. And well, that was sort of the plan, except the delivery was supposed to arrive yesterday as I'm filming this, and it hasn't arrived yet, and yesterday was a Friday. Today is a Saturday, so it's not going to arrive now until at least Monday. And I wanted to get these videos filmed, so that's fine. We'll go with what we've got, which is the Dazzling Diamonds, so that's all fine. But I've cut this at 2 inches. I want to say 2 inches, yes. So I've cut this with the 2-inch circle punch, and then I've cut the middle out with the 1 1/4. Although actually I did it the other way around. I cut the middle out and then punched out the 2 inches because it's just easier to do it that way. It's just more stable, and you don't have to fiddle around with a small piece of card to do that. So then I can use the bit that was in the middle for something else. Ever the frugal. So let's look at sizes. As ever, these will be on the blog post. So I'm starting with my classic A5 scored down the middle to make an A6 card. Quick reminder, when you score it, you'll have a mountain side, so the ridged side, the lumpy side, sleeping policeman side on one side and the dip on the other. You want to fold towards the lumpy bit with the dip on the outside. That way your card won't crack. I mean, this card's good anyway, so it shouldn't crack, but that's the way you should do it. And if you find, oh, I've cut it far too, I've scored it far too well, but if you find that you have a slight difference in the fold, make sure that the bigger side is to the front, because it just makes it easier to open it anyway. So this is then going to go on here, so we will put that on with some snail because it's only paper, and then we will get some stamping done. So yes, Celebration runs, as you will remember, I have no doubt, runs to the 31st of March. For every £45 of product you spend, you get to choose one of the free Celebration items. So why wouldn't you? So yes, and we've got the new items coming out on the 21st of February. So that's worth bearing in mind. We'll still have the other items there as well, assuming they're still in stocks. We will get to the point where if something runs out of stock, it won't be restocked if it's Celebration. This is just standard Whisper White. This is a 1 3/4 inch circle punch. This is just so that we've got, let's see if I can get it into that weird shape. This is just so that we've got something to stamp on. So yes, if you are looking at anything from Celebration, I would look sooner rather than later, just in case. Right, I shall bring in my piercing mat because we're using photopolymer. I'm also going to bring in a piece of scrap, which is just a piece of the grid paper that I've already been using, because I'm going to be doing some stamping off. Let's pop that there, then I might remember it's there. So, this whole range of images here. We're also going to be using the Best Wishes, but I'm going to be using the smaller flowers and the leaf stamps. Don't know where you put the S on that. So I've already mounted up on the B block this image here. These are smaller than the actual stamps because you're getting 14 in the sets, which is brilliant. So I've already mounted this up, and let's just clear the decks a bit. I'm going to do it slightly differently, not hugely differently, but just slightly differently. So this is in Island Indigo ink. So I'm going to stamp that off. So I was just having a quick hesitation about which order I'm going to do this, but I am going to do it in this order, so that's fine. I like to make sure that when you're stamping these sorts of things, you do go slightly off the edge. I think it just kind of makes it look more intended. I don't know, it's just, maybe it's just me, but hey. Just getting my Stampin' Scrub ready, because I'm going to need to change the block around a bit. So that's nice and clean. This is a stamp set where the images are meant to be what I would call newsprint. So they're very pixelated. So let's see if you can see that. Don't know if you can, but it's kind of made up of dots rather than being a flat stamp or flat image. So don't worry if it looks like it's not stamping completely cleanly, because it's not meant to. Right, so this is just one of the other images, and we're just tapping gently because it's the classic ink pad, so we just tap and then over the top, just so that we've got a bit of depth. Clean that and pop it back. Right, and I'm now bringing in the teeny weeny A block. I love the teeny weeny A block. And the Mint Macaron. Mint Macaron, which is of course one of the 2015-2017 in colours. So this will be going at the end of the annual catalogue. So you've only got until the 31st of May to get your hands on this, or if you need a re-inker, if you've got this and you want the re-inker as well, you haven't got long. And obviously the cardstock will be going and all those other lovely things. So yes, any of the 2017 items that you, or in colour items that you like, now is the moment to start thinking about stocking up, because they will be going. I'm just doing a kind of halo of this around that stamped image. It's just slightly different from how I did it last time. But we like to change things up a bit. It would be boring if we did everything exactly the same. Right, so I'm bringing in the Sahara sand, and let's, oh, can't get the stamps. I want that, and I'm going to want that, and I'm going to want that. So let's get those off so they're slightly easier to get my hands on. So there are 2 clusters of leaves, and they bend in different directions, which is so that you can, oop, I think I've managed to, yeah, do a boo-boo. But that's all right, because I wanted to, anyway, bring this. I like things to go off the page. So I'm just going to line that up so that it goes off the page. Just extend the stalk a bit. So yes, if you're looking at anything that is 2015, 2017 in colour, do think about getting it sooner rather than later while it's still there to get. So this is the other leaf image, so that I'm going to bring down. Actually, I might bring it down there, and that will help cover up some of the mistake. It was intended, of course, it wasn't really a mistake. So yes, there's lots going on at the moment, lots to think about. Just going to use this to add a bit of just general background leaf. So yes, stock up on your in-colour items whilst they're still around, and remember Celebration. In fact, you could use Celebration as the perfect moment to stock up on your in-colour items, because it doesn't matter what it is you're buying for Celebration, as long as it's £45 or a multiple. So if you're ordering £90 of stuff, you get 2 items. So yeah, now is your moment. Right, okay, so that's that. I mean, that's quite different and it's quite busy, but because it's going on a plainer background, my thought process is that it will look all right. Right, so I've now got the Best Wishes stamp from the same set, Island Indigo. I was going to use mint macaron, but you know what, I'm not going to. I was going to use mint macaron to stamp on, but I'm going to change my mind. It's allowed, so I will. This is 2 apparently strips of Whisper White. Actually, you don't need anything quite that fat. These are just the offcuts from when I'm doing the mats and things ready for these sorts of videos, because I cut everything in advance. This makes me very happy. These are lots of layers ready to go. So that's not everything, dare I say, because I've also got all of these too. Say, I have a little session every now and again cutting bits of card into smaller bits of card, because then it makes it quicker for when I'm doing these sorts of things. And it also means I then remember when I need to stock up on items, because I start getting short of layers, and if I'm short of layers, then I must be short of cardstock as well. So before I run out of a layer, I order some more of that colour cardstock. It's how I work, and it works for me. So that's that. So that was Island Indigo on Whisper White, and I'm now going to bring in the classic label punch. This just, and I do mean just, fits. You do lose a little bit of the tail on the B, but as long as you lose a little bit of the tail on the S of Wishes as well, it kind of works. Oh, no, I'm missing the top of the H. There we go. Right, okay, don't need those bits anymore because we're going to put it all together. So I do also need something for the inside, and this is where I can just grab a bit. Oh no, that's the wrong size. That's the small size. I need a large size. So let's grab... Oh no! Right, well, it's time for me to cut some more of those. I run out of the large size of Whisper White, so I shall have to use a smaller one for the inside of the card, but that's all right. And I know I've got lots of standard Whisper White, so I'm okay. Right, okay, so that needs to be stuck onto there, which I will do with some Tombow. And I'm just going to run that round, if it'll come out, around here. Don't need a huge amount. Oh, I've picked up some fluff. It's that fluffy jumper again. And then just pop this on to here. Turn it over. Give it a little press. Dimensionals. Just 3 of those. And I'm going to overlap. Can you see what I'm doing? You should be able to. Let's do that. I'm going to overlap between the Glimmer and the Whisper White on that hole, just so that I know that the two things are going to stick together, because they're either going to stick because of the Tombow, or they're going to stick because of the dimensional, or both. So that's good. So if I pop that down there, and you see, because we've got a plainer background, that then works. And then we'll pop this here, and that's just going to go straight onto... Oh, apparently that was the back of something that I'd already stamped on. But that's all right. It has 2 sides. So I'm going to pop that so that it's close to that and just coming over the edge there. And then I'm going to bring in our enamel shapes and a piercing tool and just pop, and these are Island Indigo still. I'm going to pop this just at the end there, just as a little finishing off. Don't need those. And then for the inside, did I show you the inside on this? I don't think I did. I've got a piece of washi tape, which is from the Affectionately Yours washi tape set. Because Mint Macaron is in the Affectionately Yours set, this works with this paper as well. Don't think there are any other colours in here that are in this set, but then of course you have got the copper. So that kind of goes with anything that's coppery, which would actually work with this. Anyway, digression. So I just did a little stamp in the corner and a piece of washi tape. So let's do that again. Finding the stamp would be a good start. So, and I think we'll use the same colour combination. Actually, no. Change mind. Right, so Sahara Sand for the flower. Full strength Sahara Sand. There we go. That's almost... Oh no, that's horrible. I hadn't cleaned my stamp off properly. So that wasn't Sahara Sand, but fortunately, in fact, I need some more spray and mist, because I think my Stampin' Scrub has dried out. That looks better. Right, let's try that again. Fortunately, we do know card has 2 sides. So let's pop that down. That's better. You see, that's Sahara Sand. That is a new colour that I don't think we'll ever take off. So we will clean the stamp before we make that mistake again. Get rid of the ink pad. This was supposed to be a quick video and we're on 19 minutes already. I do apologise. Right, so this is Mint Macaron in the middle there. And get rid of that bit of washi tape that isn't already stuck with something. Let's pop that down. Over the back. Be bit of snail. Could use Tombow, but as we're now on 19 minutes, nearly 20 minutes, let's not bother, eh? Let's get this done before we all get far too bored to get to the end. Right, okay, there we go. So, assuming you haven't died of boredom by the time you've got here, I hope you enjoyed that. That's the original. So they are completely different, and yet they've used almost exactly the same supplies. So, yeah. If you enjoyed it and didn't fall asleep, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, I promise they won't all be this long, subscribe. All the links are below, so that's the associated blog post, which has got all the supplies I've used, details of how to join during Celebration, direct link to my shop. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for persevering to the end, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot.